there's two ways to think about what to do. One is conventional wisdom. And if you're extrapolating the past to predict the future, the big companies do that very well. Intel knows how to go from a 15 nanometer process to 10 to 7 to 5. And big companies do well in extrapolating the past to predict the future. Entrepreneurs fundamentally have to invent the future they want in a very different way, and you have to have conviction about that. Now, we tend not to do a lot of, we are slightly better, slightly more efficient, slightly lower costs. The risk of that kind of startup is very high. If you're fundamentally reinventing something and changing the assumptions, then you have a lot more time to get it right and a lot more iterations you can do. So I'll tie this back to, if you get the right team, it'll iterate enough. It doesn't even matter if you got the spec right. It'll iterate to the right answer, and almost all good startups do that. And this is why the team's more important than the market you pick. If you picked it wrong, the right team will iterate to the right answers, especially if there's a culture of debate and disagreeing. Yeah. If there's a single founder and you're dictating terms, then you're not going to evolve. Great talk, TED Talk called Dare to Disagree. I'd recommend reading it or watching it. And that woman, Margaret Heffron's written a couple of books. So how you set up a culture where no matter whether you're senior or junior, you speak up if you have a concern or an idea. And you detect problems much early, and then as a group, you can evolve your direction. Pretty important.
Yeah.
By the way, one of the reasons Andy Grove at Intel essentially started dress down, no given parking, the original culture of the Valley in the 70s was he wanted an engineer, whether they were junior or senior or a VP, to speak up and not be intimidated that the executives were all wearing ties and coats, and then they didn't have ties and coats, and so they couldn't speak up.
Now